Hi, Josh Lipton here with my vlogging experiment, 30 days of vlogging. I'm at day 13. I'm here with my family. We are driving back. Where are we driving back from, Amelia? Where did we go hiking? Did we go to a creek? And you know what that creek is called? Oak Creek. It seems like Jackson wants to say something. What do you have to say, Jackson? Did you like the creek? Bye-bye, Jackson. Well, we had a nice hike. The whole family. Jackson has a lot to say when he's not on camera, so you'll have to bear with him as he screams. Here's Melanie driving. Alright, what do I have to say today? Well, first off, I need to explain something. A couple days ago, as part of my vlog experiment, I decided that sometimes I'm going to do very personal posts that are going to be private. And I'm not always sure if some posts that I do, I might not realize they're going to be private, but if I feel like talking about some in-depth private stuff, and when I'm done, it's too private, I'm going to publish it as private. So if you see some gaps in days, those are probably because they're private posts. If I come around to realizing I don't care later on, then yep, I'll go ahead and publish those. So just a little explanation of what's going on. My other thing to talk about is more evolution of talk about the learning approach. So I'm in phase 3 of learning web development. Phase 1 was 6 months of learning the landscape of web development. Phase 2 was a learning project using WooCommerce to launch a e-commerce site, Local Basket. I'm now entering phase 3, and I'm having to figure out the framework as I go. So I'm kind of in the phase of trying to figure out what is best for me at this third phase. And I was working under the theory that I should return to 3 hours of learning 5 days a week, kind of first thing in the morning. And the first hour would be general focusing on 4 different areas. And then the second and third hour would be focusing on learning in the next upcoming tech project for the learning project. However, as I thought more about that and I was preparing to dive into learning JavaScript, I really was struggling because I don't have a clear project in mind for JavaScript. And as I've gotten into learning, I've really gotten into this concept of just-in-time learning. Having a valuable project to apply your learning to seems to just make the learning stick so much better than just learning theoretically. So with that in mind, I realized that one area to focus on would be design. Also, all aspects of design, from the tools of Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator to design concepts to things like typography, color management, anything just related to just kind of the good design concepts, and then deploying the design through advanced CSS and other tools. And as I was thinking about focusing on design, I'm thinking there's plenty of areas I can apply my learnings to right away within Local Basket. But one of I'm a little bit worried is I'm going to have not as strong of a tech focus. So I'm going to be careful to do a few things. When I'm focusing on design, if an opportunity to get more technically focused for the design implementation comes up, I'm going to dive into that direction, as well as with my second and third hours of my learning, where I'm focusing on the learning, something to push ahead the learning project. I'm also going to push that into the technical area as much as possible. I'm also going to use the learning project, I'm also going to be using the focus on design to inspire new projects that will potentially then need more of a tech-driven focus. So if I'm doing some design direction and I can discover like this project would really benefit from in-depth use of JavaScript, that might dovetail dovetailed me into jumping into JavaScript learning for some time. So anyway, that's the overall approach. Another thing that's come up with all of this is I've been thinking about as I'm developing my e-commerce learning process. I think I talked about yesterday how I think that could apply to other areas of like academics who are trying to learn web development and having a learning project. And I have this new idea to set up a website where I will keep notes about for my e-commerce presentation, and maybe that will develop into some form of learning site. And I'm thinking of calling that something like weblearningproject.com. Anyways, I will talk about that more as it develops. Anyways, this is day 13 of the vlog experiment. I'm Josh Lipton, and I will see you tomorrow.